Hey, happy Friday. Welcome to the Three Things I Learned Saas Sports Tech and Live Events. We're going to get started with number one. Authenticity has demolished the status quo. So we hosted our Ticket Manager Partner Summit a couple of weeks ago in New York, and our keynote speaker was Kenny Smith. Now, people ask why Kenny Smith. Inside the NBA has been relevant with sponsors and with fans for 22 years, and we want to know why. We deal with companies who are in sponsorship, partnership marketing, and with teams who are trying to stay relevant and cool at all times. There's nothing more cool than being authentic. Kenny and the team there do not have scripts, and they're given the freedom to behave like themselves. Kreiger and Ashlyn Harris also joined us. They're two-time World Cup champions, and they said that the rise of the U.S. women's national team and their marketability has come along with the authenticity. And quite honestly, we've had a lot of great feedback from the event, and that feedback came from the authenticity that we had, admitting our own faults and trying to connect people to one another so that we can all help each other with those faults. It seems that that's the new norm, and authenticity is shattering the status quo. That's number one. Number two, be very careful how you cancel on someone. It matters, and it's going to stick with them and you through a career. For some, the business world is a playground. It's a Rolodex that's built by a wealthy generation in front of you, or a network in whatever way that you have. For the rest of us, the Rolodex is built by a lot of cold outreach and a lot of hard work and travel. Many times we've been canceled at the absolute last minute. We've been walking into MSG only to be canceled on 5 minutes before a meeting. Canceled on with Ticketmaster, famously, in a story we will tell later of how we became partners. It happens because we don't matter to them. I understand. And it's funny because some of those same people call us now and wonder why we don't return their calls. Just know that when you cancel at the last minute or switch the in-person meeting to a phone call because you don't want to be in the city, you're probably burning a bridge for the future. Listen, I'm guilty of this too. When I was young, I was told that you network up, but you also have to network down. We have to make sure that we're treating everybody's time with as much respect as we would want people to treat our time. If you don't, I promise you, no idea who's going to matter later. That's going to come back and bite you. That's number two. And number three, a fun story from the past. A long time ago when I worked at the LA Kings, I had worked my way up to number one on the sales board in both categories. It was a weekday during football season. I showed up late to work and I wasn't feeling like doing a lot of work that day. So I pulled up my fantasy sports website and I was talking to some friends. What I didn't realize was my boss's boss, Kurt, had snuck behind me and pulled a chair up and was sitting right behind me, watching me do this and not doing my job, likely for a couple minutes before I noticed, but the rest of the pit noticed. I was just obtuse to what was happening around me. I finally turned around and saw Kurt. He smiled and laughed and said, "You planning on doing any work today, Tony?" I didn't have much of a response, so I turned, I pointed at the scoreboard that was in the corner, and I said, "Scoreboard, Kurt, you're at the wrong desk." Now, there's a reason I tell that story. I tell that story because we all have off days. We all make mistakes. We make a lot of them. But if we work really hard, we put ourselves in a position where we're somebody that we can be counted on. And when we do make those mistakes, there's more leniency. And trust me, I knew I had to stay number one after making that kind of claim. So again, if you're going to mouth off, you better be able to back it up. That's it for the three things this week. We'll see everybody next week.